The Florida housing market is experiencing an epic crash. Right now, home prices might experience a 40% decline. These aren't speculations. This is happening as we speak. One major fuel for this massive market surge in Florida is the severe collapse in demand in cities like Jacksonville and Ocala. Investors who bought off a little more than they could chew in 2021 and 2022 are in deep trouble because many of them can't rent out their properties. Vacancies are surging, rents are going down. Meanwhile, the property taxes, insurance costs, and HOA fees are going up across the state. There's a 30% overvaluation in housing prices. And according to Redfin, as of January 2024, home prices in Florida rose by 4.5% in comparison to last year. The current level of overvaluation in Florida's housing market is reminiscent of the 2006 housing bubble. This period preceded one of the most significant housing crashes in history, where prices plummeted by 50%, according to this data. Following this crash, home prices in Florida became undervalued before stabilizing at fair values, just before the pandemic. Now there is a return to overvaluation, particularly in cities like Tampa, Lakeland, and Jacksonville. In these areas, prices have become detached from their long-term fundamentals, signaling potential significant price declines in the future. It is no longer a mere speculation. We are seeing it happen right before our eyes. The ongoing developments in the Florida housing market are no longer merely speculative. They are unfolding before our very eyes. Inventory levels, especially in Florida, are witnessing a significant surge. Active listings in the Florida housing market have reached a staggering 11,762 homes, showing a remarkable increase in new listings. Alongside this surge, there has been a noticeable decline in buyer demand and pending sales, signaling an end to the trend of people flocking to Florida that was prevalent during the pandemic, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Over the last 5 years, Florida home values have surged by approximately 80%. However, with the recent increase in mortgage payments due to rising interest rates, analysts are closely monitoring the Florida housing market to gauge the impact. While it's expected to temper house price hikes, the extent of this restriction remains uncertain. According to the Tampa Bay Times, Tampa ranks among Zillow's hottest housing markets of 2024, driven by a surge in potential buyers, limited housing supply, robust property sales, and a thriving job market. However, from a structural perspective, the rising housing prices may not necessarily align with an increase in buyers due to declining affordability in the region. Florida's insurance landscape is also undergoing significant changes, with insurers pursuing substantial premium increases. Annual premiums have increased by a staggering 88% in the last decade, reflecting factors such as extreme weather events and a surge in insurance claims. This trend has led the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation to schedule public hearings to assess the justification behind these steep hikes. Despite efforts by Florida's legislature to reform property insurance over the past 2 years, the cost to insure a home in Florida remains the highest in the United States. These developments come on the heels of a 68% rise in insurance premiums in Florida from May 2021 to May 2023. Moreover, the median household income in Florida stands at $73,500 as of December 2024, while the average single-family home requires at least $400,000 to purchase. This discrepancy between income levels and soaring rates of home prices, insurance premiums, and property taxes poses significant challenges, particularly for those employed in the service industry with lower wages or retired individuals living on fixed incomes. Additionally, mortgage rates have surged to 7%, further exacerbating the challenges faced by Florida homeowners and prospective buyers. Consequently, it's highly unlikely that there will be a sudden influx of buyers returning to the market, even if home prices begin to decline. For instance, a 3-bedroom property with 2 bathrooms in Sarasota, Florida, initially listed for $470,000, has seen a price reduction to $450,000, indicating a decrease in value. Zillow's value estimate for the property has also decreased to $429,500, matching pre-pandemic levels seen in February 2022. Before we move on, if you found this video helpful so far, please take a minute to hit the like and subscribe buttons to give a thumbs up next. Let's discuss the areas in Florida where we anticipate the highest price declines this year. Firstly, it's important to note that the Florida housing market is diverse and consists of various distinct markets, each with its own dynamics. From the bustling Miami market to the quaint Ocala market, the landscape varies significantly, offering diverse opportunities and challenges for both buyers and sellers. In metropolitan areas like Lakeland, the inventory levels for sales have increased by 18.7% compared to the previous year. For instance, in January 2024, there were 3,500 homes on the market, up from 2,900 homes in January 2023. This surge in inventory suggests that housing in Lakeland is now overvalued by 41%, indicating a likelihood of home prices declining over the next year. Similarly, Palm Bay is another metropolitan area facing uncertainty. Sale inventory growth in Palm Bay currently stands at 35.1% compared to last year. Presently, there are 3,200 homes listed for sale, contrasting with 2,400 homes in 2023. Additionally, housing prices in Palm Bay are now considered to be overvalued by 24%. Compared to historical averages, during the last housing bubble from 2007 to 2012, home prices in Florida plummeted by 50%. However, it's important to note that our current situation differs from the 2009 scenario. At least we don't have the same prevalence of bad mortgages. While a 50% decline might seem extreme, it's worth considering the possibility of a 30% or even a 20% decline. This could potentially wipe out your down payment if you decide to buy in Florida's housing market this year. To navigate this uncertainty, it's crucial to closely monitor the data, whether you're a homebuyer or a real estate investor. Despite claims from many realtors and homeowners that inventory is low, the reality in Florida is quite the opposite. Inventory levels in many Florida markets are currently among the highest seen in the last decade. Additionally, houses are currently overvalued. The fact that home prices are outpacing buyers' incomes indicates an imbalance. Either house prices need to decrease or incomes need to increase to restore affordability. However, it's unlikely that income growth alone will solve this problem. Income typically grows steadily, around 3% to 4% per year, while house prices are rising much faster. These levels of overvaluation are unsustainable, and historically such situations lead to a decline in prices. According to a report from Redfin, investor purchases in Tampa dropped to in the most recent quarter, only 2,100 homes were purchased by investors in Florida, marking the lowest level seen since before the pandemic. This decline in investor activity isn't limited to Tampa alone. Similar trends are evident across various Florida metro cities. For instance, in Jacksonville, investors purchased only 1,000 homes in the fourth quarter of 2023, representing a decrease of more than 60% from the peak during the pandemic. Fox 35. Orlando also confirms this downward trend, reporting a significant decline in investor home purchases statewide. This raises a thought-provoking question for anyone considering buying property. When is the right time to make that investment? Speculation about potential price drops aside, the key question is how to identify the optimal time to buy. Firstly, it's important to recognize that the real estate market in Florida is robust and promising. With a remarkable 6% surge in population growth from 2017 to 2022, Florida ranks among the highest growing states in the United States. According to a report from the National Association of Home Builders, Florida secured the third spot for population growth among all states. However, Miami stands as an exception. Despite the state's growth, Miami's real estate market thrives consistently, owing to its status as a hub. However, transitioning out of the housing boom, Florida's rapid population growth can pose challenges. Many newcomers are beginning to realize that Florida may not meet their expectations, leading to some returning to their places of origin. Furthermore, in response to the population influx, many builders in Florida ramped up permits and construction, flooding the market with homes. While this may have seemed prudent initially, it coincided with the peak of the housing cycle, potentially leading to overbuilding. While Florida's rapid growth holds promise for the long term, in the short term, especially as the market dips into a down cycle, this surge can spell trouble, potentially resulting in significant drops in property values. Assessing the overvaluation in the market becomes crucial. A high overvaluation rate may indicate downward pressure on prices. However, as prices begin to stabilize and incomes rise, the overvaluation rate may decrease, offering hope for a more balanced market. When considering whether Florida's housing market has returned to normal, and if it's the right time to re-enter the buying game, closely monitoring the overvaluation rate is essential. As prices ease off and incomes increase, the overvaluation rate may decline, potentially stabilizing the market. This decline could potentially bring the rate down to around 15% or even 10%, or it may even plummet to zero, representing the sweet spot we aim for, reminiscent of conditions seen back in 2019. While the exact outcome remains uncertain, staying informed about market trends through channels like ours can help you stay ahead of the curve. Do you believe housing prices in Florida will decline over the next year? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful market updates. So let's talk about Barbara Corcoran's statement. Forget about Florida. Move here for cheap homes. Barbara Corcoran, the real estate mogul from Shark Tank, has a different perspective. According to Barbara, there's a new hotspot for retirees that's catching everyone's attention, and it's not where you might expect. So where is this hidden gem? Barbara Corcoran suggests that instead of Florida, you should be looking at well, stick around to find out where this unexpected haven is and why it's becoming the talk of the town. Barbara dives into the reasons why this new destination is stealing the spotlight. From affordable housing to breathtaking landscapes, she paints a vivid picture of what life could be like in this up-and-coming area. Imagine waking up to stunning views every morning and living a lifestyle you never thought possible. Barbara's insights might just change your retirement plans for the better. Go anywhere in the South other than the hot spots, Corcoran recommended. There's always a cheap house to buy, always. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Until next time.